This is the second floor of our big working barn, and this is Lindsay, my dried flower manager, and Anna, my office manager. And this has been a very exciting last 4 or 5 years for me because originally Olivia helped me build the website for selling dried flowers, and Anna is now helping take care of that. And I gave my job away as dried flower manager to Lindsay, and it's a full-time job, and now she has a full-time assistant. So
yes.
Being able to grow this part of our business has really, really been exciting for me because dried flowers have always been my passion. That is how I met Charles. That is what I have done my whole life, starting as a child. And so I love rebuilding that brand for Charles Little and Company again. It's been a lot of fun. So Anna really helps make it possible for me to spend time like diving into seed catalogs and saving seeds and doing all the things that I really love doing about farming again, because Anna's like doing payroll.
Putting out other fires.
Yes.
So in terms of the way your website has grown as an e-commerce site, Anna, do you want to just comment a little bit on how that's expanded and how that's operating now, and you trying to get a great user experience? And
I think we're taking current user experience and trying to improve it. We see the ways that we need to improve, especially with a higher volume going through the website. So we're switching platforms. So you won't see many changes yet, but there's a lot behind the scenes, trying to make it smoother, fewer clicks, easier to organize and read, to find products and stuff like that.
right, it's a whole different business than the harvesting and delivering fresh cut flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just having someone who will do that work where business owners seem to be expected to do that. You can't work in your business and on your business at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really hard to grow. And so having competent, pleasant, wonderful people to work with who love and are passionate about the flowers as much as we are, that's how we grow, and it's been wonderful.
How have you seen it grow?
I've been here, 5 years now, and it just keeps getting more organized, and in the working really, really hard and making our presence on social media and the word of mouth, and getting more organized, and
The organization's
huge.
well, let's just talk about that in terms of volume. What are the metrics? Like how many, individual SKUs do you have on the e-commerce site? How many bunches are you processing a year? Like how many boxes are you shipping out? Like how do you measure that?
So
you're busy, but
we measure it by once the flowers are fully dry, then we box it all up and we assess what we have, and then we will put a really generous but safe estimate on the website and let people buy it and then restock as we're seeing more of it. I would say right now, this season we've done about 115 items online. There was 50 in August, 30 in September, and 30 in October. We'll probably have another 15 to 20 coming in.
Even that you're adding.
Yeah, we're adding
because
products.
they're drying currently.
Right.
We will be harvesting through January because we'll do the eucalyptuses in the wintertime, and then they just sort of slowly dry here.
Yeah.
But we also, we'll keep adding things like the wreath bases that the crew makes in the wintertime with the grapevines and the porcelain vines and the cornice and the willows, and those dry slowly by my wood stove in the house. It's really quite a scene to see all these stacks of wreaths in there. And those go on the website. So we're just trying to keep our crew busy as much as possible with our products right here on our own farm, and not like buying in anything and reselling it. Everything that we are selling on our website is something besides like the glue gun.
Right.
is something that
Which
we
isn't a big seller.
No,
Yeah.
I think I sold 2.
But and then the first of every month we do the product drop with the most fresh dried items that we've been collecting and inventorying over the previous month. So
Yeah.
And I'd say we're doing anywhere from 150 to 200 online orders a month, which has grown a lot since I've been here.
Yeah.
And talk about who those customers are who are buying. 'Cause you
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And
It's-
there are people who like have a auction house business and they want to have this French antique vibe, and so they get only very specific colors and things.
yeah, there's a jewelry store in New York that buys a lot of product from us. The at-home crafters, the people that are going to, events and have their booths and are making wreaths.
Other flower farmers
Other flower
to fill
farmers.
in the gaps of what they have or their dried flowers and their crafting needs.
Or they just have displays in their house and they change out the flowers, Someone said, well, it's time for me to redo my vintage window display. These are the colors I want to have in it.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there was like an auction house in upstate New York that just filled 2 huge urns, and they bought a whole bunch of drieds from us. So
It's interesting. It's like you've changed the behavior. Maybe just by having the variety, you've changed the behavior so that people. I remember in the 80s or 70s when my mom and the families I babysat for, they all had dried flowers.
Yep.
They just was like you put it in a vase or hang it in a swag and ignore it, and like years later
For 20
it's-
years.
yeah.
it's still dusty and
Yeah.
faded. But now there's a more of a fashion-driven, home decor,
Yeah.
palette-driven thing where people are constantly refreshing their dried flowers.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, it's like people realized you can have color in dried flowers.
And you can and get new varieties if you're constantly introducing new ones. So
And you can constantly make something beautiful for yourself in your house. You don't
Yeah,
It's-
you can have little beautiful things.
and you can do them. And
Yeah.
so people have crafting parties for their get-togethers instead of
Right.
a book club. They're doing a wreath making club,
Right.
or
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Well, and you know that from your local customers too, Bethany, because of the farm stand
Yeah.
and the crafters coming in there. I've heard you talk to them about they're just picking up a small quantity for a project, but they want inspiration, so they come to see what new colors or flowers that you've got available.
Yeah, and then they'll go out and pick too, to add if they want to dry some flowers themselves.
Because there's different avenues. There's the market in Portland, there's the farm stand, there's, online sales. There's all these different ways stuff's being sold. And so to have all those enterprises have an inventory above all of it is really makes it more comfortable to sell.
Yeah.
You know that you have what you are saying you have.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I know this
across
rolly
these
rack has about 300 bunches on it.
Yeah,
Right.
and she doesn't do, Lindsay's not down at the farm stand every day. So knowing that she has the numbers, what she can stock there, what can be used for wreath making, for dried flower workshops, all of that comes back to inventory and knowing what you have.
Yeah. I have a personal Bethany do not touch list when I'm crafting and showing
For products that
for
are
products.
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do so many online tutorials during the wintertime, I have a no touch list. And then I also have a list of things that I can offer to our wholesalers, that there's things on there that we have large quantities of. So if I have a small quantity, an exact count is online. It says it's even on the bottom of that, you cannot sell them equinox. I only have 23 bunches in the house. That is a hard number of 23 bunches, but I can't sell it to a wholesaler. I can't just take it and send it to market. If I do, I have to take it off the back end of the website because we have a hard numbers list.
And
Yeah,
there's a full 12-month cycle for getting all of these things grown, cut, and dried. And,
Yeah.
And so there's no quick fix if you run out of equinox.
Right.
Right, you're out until the next season. So.
Out of the seasonality of it.
Yeah. That's my favorite email when we're like, no, we are out for the year. And then someone's like, so when's your next, so do you get a restock next month? And we're like, no. it will have to grow.
It has to regrow.
It really has to really grow. It's
So that's why other flower farmers are buying from you because they've ran
Right.
into
To fill gaps.
Yeah, which is
stock.
Yeah.
great. I believe that every single size of flower farm is really important,
Yeah.
and everything that everybody does in their flower farming business is really great and important, and we just really love dried flowers.
Oh.
And
So,
not everybody has to
we're
grow
just-
everything. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
that's the community
We don't
aspect
grow
of it. We share.
anemone or ranunculus
Crispidia.
or crispidia. There's things that we don't knock our heads against the wall with. We don't do big tulip plantings because that's not our business. This is our, besides our fresh flowers, dried flowers are our secondary passion.
Well, it's fun. So you've got the celosia overhead,
Yep.
and then behind you have straw
We
flower.
have strawflower and solidago and
Gomprina.
some gomprina up here. And then things will take, depending on the weather, things can take 2 weeks to multiple months to dry. So it's
Right.
just all,
It's just seasonal.
it's seasonal.
So this isn't just a pretty display. You're actually pulling from this.
Yes.
Yes, this has come down. We've hung once. It's come down. This is the second hanging
Yeah, it
that's
went up
been on
about
the ceiling
2 weeks ago
at the most.
at the
Wonderful.
most, yeah. And then the color changes as it dries a little bit.
wonderful.
And it is a 12-month process to restock something, but because of the different timings for plants being ripe or fresh and ready, like the turnover happens often. It's like 3 or 4 times all these racks get
Mhm.
refilled with
Yeah.
different products
Yeah.
as the summer goes along.
And you're looking to your left because there's a whole
Yeah,
other
there's a
whole.
Yes, you'll have to walk down there and show everybody
I
that.
took a little video, and I also want to comment on you're keeping it relatively cool and relatively dark, and then the fans are normally going because
Yes.
that all helps
Yes,
in healthy
airflow
products.
is very
Airflow,
important.
dehumidifiers.
checking humidity.
Yeah, before anything goes and is sealed up into storage, we humidity test it, make sure the humidity level's low enough. We crack the stem, we listen for the sound, we have all sorts of little tests that we
Test
do.
it to see if it feels dry against our lips. There's lots and lots of different little testing factors.
Because the worst thing that we could do is spend all that time growing and hanging and drying and then to seal it up in the box before it's ready and then you open it up to mold, which we have not done and we will not.
We will not do.
So Lindsay, you're going to show us how you pack a box?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
Great. Let's pivot over to that.
Thank you.
So this is one of our online orders. Madeline, my helper, will pull all the items for me, and she has time. She'll properly bunch them, and then we'll come in and pack it properly for shipping.
Okay, so you're going to show us a little bit how that works.
Yes.
Great.
The volume each bunch takes in the box, strawflower is going to take much less volume than statice. So I can get 40 of these in a box versus 15 of these. So it really just depends. I am going to, Madeline has so kindly prepared its entire order, and this is the reel that we brace it and dump it out. We have 4 different sizes of boxes, so depending on the size of the order, an order can be anywhere from $35 to thousands of dollars. So we have different sizes of boxes that will match the order size. But yes, typically this is our largest box.
And that's an order right there that someone has placed
This
online.
is an order, yes.
Okay.
So and this is a little bit of a slow process, but I will go through and I will find everything, double check that the bunch size is great, and then I will find it on our order and mark it off.
Yeah.
And then there'll be things that are fragile that we wrap in tissue paper.
So that's larkspur?
This is larkspur, just a little bit more fragile. We're gonna pack the box really tight so there's no shake in it because friction would damage the flowers in shipping. I would say a general stem, like there are certain items that have an idea of a stem count, but it's more the overall aesthetic of the size of the top. I would say a strawflower bunch is gonna be 15 to 20 stems, but it's like the size of an orange, not a grapefruit, right? So we're looking for those visual, because there's some grasses, especially grasses, it can be this big on the bottom and the top is tiny, you know? And so we'll want to make sure that you're getting enough product at the top to work with.
And that's just experience of both of you have the familiarity with what you're packing.
Bethany and Charles taught me the way, and we'll just continue passing the knowledge along, which is really wonderful. All right, so now we are going to pack it. I've got this great quality box that doesn't have any damage to it. I like to line the bottom just so nothing catches on the bottom flaps of the box. And then we're just gonna start packing it in. Just come in and pull it tight.
You've done this for 5 years, so you have a real automatic
Yes.
approach.
Yes. It is. So then once the order is completed, we're going to take the order, add a little thank you to it.
Oh, a little posy.
We can make little posies. We actually keep all of our broken bits. This is how much we don't waste anything. We keep our broken bits. We make our little posies.
Sweet.
Everything possible gets used. Get my fingers to work. So pack in a little posy. We'll do one more layer of protection. And then we want to be able to squish it down a little bit because that just makes sure that nothing is going to rattle or move around during shipping.
A little more snug. Yeah.
Yep, keep it nice and snug, but not overly packed where things are being damaged. And we're going to tape up all the sides so no moisture can get into the box during transit. This is also how we store them. We're going to top it off with our logo. And then we have a content sticker that we have to add to the box so the postal services know
What's inside?
what's inside.
Yeah. Love it.
So I am drying some really beautiful yellow strawflowers that are going to go out to our customers in boxes, single color boxes,
Just as heads.
just as heads. It's a really nice way to work with them for crafts. Then, so they come from the field, the heads are picked off into buckets, and then they're laid out in these trays and they get stacked for just like a primary drying. And then we put them in this stackable dehydrator. And the really nice thing about them is they come in like little belly buttons. And then once they dry, they open up beautifully.
So these will open further.
They will. And
Because I see how tight that is.
exactly.
Will you see the centers?
Yes.
Wow.
In most of them. The really tight ones will stay in that little almost like artichoke looking format, and then the others like big suns.
So when they go into is it like a dehydrator or? Okay. Wow.
It's an element and then a fan in here. It's the same as, it can be used for food as well, but it's, or herbs or anything. The air is sucked in out of the bottom, it comes up and it circulates around
my
and
gosh.
dries these within about 2 days at quite a low temperature, about 120.
And then
So
when you determine that they're done, you pack them for shipping.
then they're packed for shipping.
Wow.
Yes.
I love it.
They are.
It's sort of satisfying, isn't
It's really satisfying, especially when they're dry and you open them up and they're just. We make sure that there's space because they're just going to emerge
You've got to.
to their full glory once they're dry.
I love it. That's so great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
It's hard. Oh, fun. And these you don't want to pack very tight either, right?
No, these are going to just be loose in this box, but they're fully dry, and we can tell they're fully dry by breaking them in half, and we can feel this part right here. It's just super crispy.
Yeah.
You can feel it's super crispy, and then you can hear it snap.
Wonderful.
Here, this one's ugly. We usually choose an ugly one. So you can, it's completely dry. It's bone dry in there.
No more bend to the
No.
base of the
Yeah,
flower.
it just-
then you feel confident.
And you
putting
can
it
just
in.
literally hear it breaking apart.
Yes, there will always be a sacrificial.
Yes.
So you don't know how many per rack are drying, but you have a guesstimate, or does it matter because you're selling this by the volume?
We sell this by the volume. It's about 100 heads in a bag or a box. The bag and box have the same volume, a lunch bag or a little cake box. And
And that's how people order it.
yep.
How fun.
Yep.
Oh, like a little pastry box.
Yep.
Yep, at our farm stand, someone will be able to get we're introducing this come November 1st, the single color. Usually they come mixed. So this is a new, exciting, never done before here at Charles Little to get a single color.
Yeah, I think people are getting excited.
Yeah, and we just fill it all the way up. It's got 100 plus strawflower in it.
And we know that volume is 100 plus straw flowers because we've
counted it multiple times.
We have a really long autumn here, and if it freezes, these are still going to look nice because we'll just get a frost. We're not going to get a prolonged freeze.
Right, just as
And
that.
so people can rip out their summer plantings and put in a mixture of grasses, and it's going to look really great. And then when they're done with that, they can pull that out and then plant some little trees. So
Some evergreen.
we're just really into like making a beautiful, naturally decorated home. And when we can't have the planters for you, we're going to try to find some of the makings for you.
I love it. I love it. And then I was over here looking at, you have some dried flowers for cash and carry. Like
Yep.
these.
We have these. These are wreath making bundles. So you don't have to buy an entire, like one bunch of everything. We have some dried flower bouquets ready to go. Just straight. These are mixed straw
Sure.
flowers.
Mhm.
And then inside, I'm going to show you our wall of dried flowers in there. We have little tea sets and little dried flowers, gifts that our employees make, wreaths that we make. And
Oh, what a pretty setup.
I know the lighting isn't absolutely
I'm
perfect,
getting-
but
Look at, it's looking good.
oh, good. So we
It's
try
like
to.
your flower hutch.
Yeah. So we try to keep a huge assortment of dried flowers down here. It's not everything that we have on our website, but we do offer the QR code to remind people that you can go there and look. Beautiful thing, gifts made by our crew, more dried flowers, seasonal candles, lots of beautiful candles. I have been making lavender oil with my still. Bought myself a big, beautiful lavender oil still, and you get hydrosol when you make lavender oil as well. So about 100 huge field bunches of fresh lavender will make about 8 ounces of essential lavender oil and 4 quarts of hydrosol.
Which then you bottle up.
And at 90 minutes.
Wow,
It takes
that's
a
amazing.
lot of material, a lot of time. You don't get a lot at the end, but it's amazing to me. It's
Here's
beautiful.
the little gift boxes of the straw flower that we just saw being packed up too. In
Yep.
the, wonderful.
And then I try to find fun things at estate sales and bring them down. Like I found a ton of myrtle wood bowls, and I'm selling them. Work with local potters
Oh, sweet.
who come up with interesting ideas, and I thought this was really fun.
It's like a flower frog in a vase.
Yep. So this is it's fun to do fresh flowers in there. This honey is from hives that are on our farm.
I've had some before. It's delicious.
Yeah, and here's a nice myrtle wood bowl assortment. And then Anna is a shepherdess and spins wool, and she also does natural dyeing of wool yarn that she purchases.
So people can come here and
local
Stop.
artist Lisa Lavoni. These are little prints. Here's the flower farmers with Deborah Prinzing. And some more local artists ceramics. And then, of course, Nikki McClure's paper cut calendars, which I absolutely adore.
There's so much in here. You'll be busy through the holidays, won't you?
Yes.
The shop
and
looks amazing.
We're constantly thinking of new things to add to our shop and always looking for new artists to showcase.
Fun. That's great.
Okay, we're filming here at Charles Little and Company, and I'm so happy to be with you, Charles Little.
Well,
the
thanks
Charles Little.
for coming over. Indeed.
We're going to talk about a couple of concepts. One is your permaculture approach to combining woodies with annuals, but also dried flowers. So introduce us to this area of the farm and how you've developed it.
This little area is on the 5 acres that we purchased in 1991. And it was undeveloped land that required clearing of trees. And we built a barn right away, and 10 years later, the house. And the little piece of ground behind us has been through 3 or 4 different renditions. I think it started with tomatoes and eggplant and peppers, and then it was in woody shrubs like ceanothus and poor choices of woody shrubs. And a wonderful lilac called hyacinthiflora, which ended up with a disease. So we took it all out, all of it. And we had sheep, Jacob sheep. Bethany raised Jacob sheep in this little place. We called it the pasture, or the East pasture. And then 6 or 8 years into sheep, we decided to give our sheep away, and the land laid fallow for a year or two, and I decided to put it back in woodies. But this time, I had come up with a concept of planting woody shrubs and trees in rows that are 8 to 10 feet apart, and then we'd have space in between to grow annuals for several years. So that's what we have here. We're like year 4 or maybe 5 into viburnum, catinus, more viburnum. Got an interesting calocarpa called pearl glam. Aronia is a great woody shrub and trees, woody shrub. So these are all deciduous shrubs that will grow between 4 and 10 feet tall.
And are you harvesting them only once a year? Because I know you really love plants that give you more than one season of harvest.
You need to decide how you want to manage each crop. So for us, viburnum is a really good example. Sometimes it's hard to decide what to do because the spring flower on viburnum is beautiful, and the berry, I think, is even more beautiful. So I think for the viburnum here, we're managing it more for the berry.
Okay.
So we're going to harvest the stems with the berries in the late summer through the fall and kind of prune the shrub. So then we'll finish the pruning in the wintertime. And then the following year, it'll make stems and leaves and no flowers, no berries. So I might, because I have a couple rows of each, I might alternate, what I do.
Sure.
Another example, this
Let's go see it.
Catinus lemon, we call it Catinus lemon lime. I think it's called golden spirit. It's full of disease. And this one was some little shrubs I bought from Spring Meadow Nursery that were touted to be more disease resistant, but they're not.
Oh, dear.
At least they're not here in our climate. So I'm going to manage this for spring flowers because they're really popular. The yellow smoke bush makes we call it champagne. So it makes this beautiful pink, yellow smoke. And so we probably won't prune this. So every little stem next spring is going to make smoke.
Okay. And then you'll harvest that for 2026.
Yeah, in the late spring of 2026.
Okay.
And then we'll probably prune it so that it'll grow new stems and leaves throughout the rest of the growing season of 2026.
And that's kind of how you remove or eliminate the disease portions, right? Or
Oh, I don't know. You can there's parts of the plants that are dead. This is an example here.
oh, I see. Yeah.
And if you look closely, you can see it's interesting to see the dead part connected to the live
Yeah,
part.
it's kind of split there.
So we will prune the dead out.
Sure.
Oftentimes, not often, from time to time, a plant that gets disease will snap out of it with some proper pruning, like in the wintertime, just a serious, a real serious pruning.
Like hard renovation.
Yep, way down
You're
to
out here with the loppers.
down to the ankles. Yep.
Show us a little bit about your alternating philosophy. I think down here is a good example of woodies spaced with annuals.
Yeah, so we're walking by some of the Chicago luster type of viburnum. This is a deciduous viburnum that we're managing for the berries.
Oh, so beautiful.
Probably what we'll do here is prune. Well, we'll try to sell this foliage, as bunches of stems, foliage stems. But when it in the wintertime, it'll lose its leaves, and we'll prune it probably down to this size and let it grow again next year. But as we go through, you'll see better examples of the woodies sort of combined with the annuals. So we have the viburnum. This is a row of celosia, seed from floret, and I got lots of it. It was really fun to try her celosia. This is hydrangea limelight, and
Rather young.
rather young. This was planted last year. More celosia. This is aronia, and it makes a beautiful red berry,
Oh my gosh.
but the flower's more interesting to me. So we're gonna manage this for the flower. So we won't prune this in the winter.
Are you selling any of this?
We sold the flowers. So
This just stays and is for the birds.
I suppose. We probably will. It's hard to resist not cutting it.
Yeah.
But on the end, this is the south end of the row. So it's getting lots of light, and it gets lots of ventilation. And as you walk into the row more, it doesn't have as many berries.
I see. Okay.
So more celosia from floret. This is a great Philadelphus or mock orange. It's a real short cultivar called Illuminati Towers. And this one I'm really interested in developing because it's not moppy. It's really has a great structure, has a really solid growth habit. So like this stem will go deciduous in the wintertime, and then it'll grow, come back to life, and there'll be white flowers along the entire thing.
Wow. So it will get taller when it gets mature.
Yeah, slowly but surely. I suppose it might get up about, when it's fully mature, about 3.5, 4 feet.
So this is a good visual to show that your woody deciduous shrubs are spaced, you said about 8 feet.
Right.
And
This is a kind of a good example here between the Philadelphus and the aronia. The space where the zinnias are in is getting crowded out. I might have one more year, like 2026, I might be able to plant one more time the annuals. Oh, I think people's interpretation of permaculture is different. Mine is just crops that naturalize, and it's found. I find it most obvious in woody shrubs and trees, because when this calicarpa and that aronia get fully established, they will be crowding out this row, and they'll shade the ground below it. So the weed pressure will almost disappear because there's no light penetrating, and we're not working up the ground. We're hoeing the weeds, and so we'll generate more weed seed, but it will begin to require very little maintenance other than fertilizing, pruning, / harvesting and watering.
Oh.
So you can see the stands with the rainbirds. This is all irrigated from the river, which is right over there. So we have limitless water, really.
Are the stands pretty much overhead
It's all overhead irrigation.
in kind of a fan pattern, or?
No, it's an impact sprinkler. Just the old-fashioned rainbird,
Okay.
you know.
Oh, it just kind of.
It rotates around and waters. These throw 40 feet, so it's a 40-foot radius.
Wow. So you've got them every 15, 20 feet, or?
This pipe looks like it's about 30. These are 30-foot, 2-inch aluminum.
Okay.
And then there's others that's another 30-foot segments, but there's a couple in here that have 40-footers.
And then, of course, we're here in almost mid-October. You probably won't be watering much anymore.
No, I'm
rain.
hopefully I can pull the suction pipe and quit watering for the year.
What is this plant right here?
That's that calicarpa,
You're kidding.
and it's
Like a dark leaf.
finally coming into its own. It's a cultivar of the Calicarpa americana,
Okay.
and I got it from Spring Meadow Nursery. They call it Pearl Glam. We call it purple pearls.
And you're waiting till the berries are produced, and that's when you harvest.
We're cutting it now.
Oh, you are. Okay.
You can see the berries,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and so
They're kind of between the.
I think Western Oregon's not the perfect place for this crop.
Okay.
It probably does better where the nights are warmer. I don't know. Where the nights are warmer and maybe the springs are warmer. But
Maybe further south.
yeah, if it would just start blooming earlier, because I want the berry. But the flower's really pretty.
Yeah, it is. It is. And no one sees this in the floral market, so people are interested in it.
Yeah, it has a really nice growth habit.
Yeah.
I like the dark leaves for
I like the dark
this
stem.
time of year.
Yeah. And then you have.
This is quince. This is a orange or salmon thornless quince that I'm figuring out how to prune.
Looks like you've
And-
pretty much eliminated the annual row here because of the way that they're reaching toward the center. or-
Actually, there's some amaranth in there.
okay.
We ran out of plants.
Got it.
I think I'll be able to. Most of the annual rows in this east pasture will be available to us to plant annuals in next year.
Okay. Okay, great.
After that, there's going to be places we just have to give up on. So many of the annuals that we grow can be dried nicely. Celosia is a great example, amaranth. So what we've done here is we've got several varieties of amaranth, like mocha spike. There's one called Mira, red tails, green tails. Autumn palette is a variegated spike that's green and brown. And while we sold all of it fresh, if we didn't, we would have cut it for drying, no doubt. One of the greatest amaranths for drying is called scarlet torch or pygmy torch. I call it red spike, but it's a short one. And anybody that's grown amaranth before, there's a lot of varieties that just get enormous. They're just too big. But the pygmy torch or scarlet torch only grows 24 to 30 inches. That's if you've grown it really well. And I collected seed on it. I have a lot of seed. So I direct sow it, so it germinates quickly, and the plants compete. So it's just like one seed, one stem, you know. And
Right.
the other one that's great for growing for fresh and dried is green thumb. So green thumb and scarlet torch are similar in their growth habit. All the others get big, you know. But it depends how you grow them. If you can direct sow the green tails, red tails, mocha spike, autumn palette, Mira, they're going to be competing for space, and they won't get enormous. If you transplant every 12 inches, they're going to get enormous.
And since you're collecting seed, you have no shortage of seed, and you don't mind direct sowing. And then do you go in and, edit out the scragglers, or you just let them compete?
No, let them compete.
Wow. And is that an example here?
No, it's not.
Okay.
This is a seed I bought from a seed company, and we sowed it into cell trays, directly into cell trays in the greenhouse.
Just the opposite of what you just described.
Yeah, it is. And then we, because I bought the seed,
Sure.
and I with probably in the intention of like growing some so that I could collect the seed. But then we ran out of space, we ran out of time, and the poor flats just got stunted. And while we kept watering them, they just looked awful. And then finally, we had this ground kind of come available, and we used the transplanter, and we just put like 10 plants per foot, just like. And then they got it on, you know, they put the boots to it. Yeah, last October I sowed nigella and larkspur in here. And those are great crops to fall sow for us in our climate. By the end of October, you've got germination. It's still mild enough for the seedlings to develop slowly through November. And then they sort of stall, and they're alive and they're there, but they exist through the winter months. And then come March or April, when the soil is warming up and the air temperature, they start to grow again. So we had a decent crop of larkspur, I think, in these rows. And nigella is so easy to grow. We had a great crop of nigella, but they're all like early summer harvests, you know. So we got it all harvested. We worked up the ground again, and then we put the amaranth in here. So we're maxing it out. The woodies you see are in what I call the woody border.
Okay.
So that was just a little installation idea I had 10 years ago to have something against the deer fence and among the trees that are planted along the fence. So we call it the woody border. And then inside of it, I guess inside of the woody border is a row of viburnum spring bouquet, which is this right here. It's an evergreen viburnum. And then this would be kind of an area we called Southfield A. I suppose it's one of the on the list of things I've grown forever. You know, it's easy for us to grow in our climate. The seeds are super affordable. There's 9 or 10 colors. You can buy separate color seed. And while it's a great long-lasting cut flower, it's more popular for us as a dried flower. And I think one of the main reasons we grow so much of it is we have a customer that buys the flowers for the floats on the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California.
So one of the
float
production
makers, yeah. And they buy 10 or 20,000 bunches, and they do a pre-season purchase order, so that we've got an idea how many yellow, how many red, how many orange, how many purple. And we dry it, and then we actually cut we cut bunches that are, you know, like 14 to 18 inches long, and we dry them upside down in the barn. And then when we ship it to the customer, we actually cut most of the stem off. It's a real efficient way to ship it, and they're just using the petals. They're cutting it, making like confetti.
Wow.
And so the floats are decorated with natural materials, you know. And if people don't know that, I think it's great. I think it's fascinating, you know, that you see black, it might be black beans. You see white, it might be white rice. You see pink, it might be strawflower petals.
Yeah. Straight from Charles Little and Company. That's cool.
But this is Southfield A, and this was the first part of the farm I started using in 1986. And this was it right here. We grew snapdragons and statice and strawflowers and celosia and zinnias, and that was the first crop we had on CV Loop. So this particular area has the majority of it has continued in annuals.
Yeah.
Even though we've got ilex here, there's 3 rows of big ilex in Southfield Area A, and then we've got our woody border, but still there's 2, 4, 5 long rows. These rows are about 800 feet long.
Wow, Charles.
They go to the farm stand. You might want to get a picture of that beautiful farm stand.
I'll go down there. Wow. And there's 3 rows, 3 800-foot rows just here of strawflower. And is it easy to start from seed?
Yeah, very easy.
And you don't direct sow that?
No, you could. I have. The seed's affordable, but it's not so affordable that you could just spill it into the ground.
Okay, so you want to be a little bit.
Yeah, and
you
so
want
we
to
sow it.
in cell packs.
We have a strategy of sowing where we sow into a slotted tray,
Okay.
and then the seed germinates, and pretty quickly we're pricking out into a 72 cell tray.
Let's go see the other rows you have. I think the flowers are a little bit more prominent.
Yeah, we ship dried flowers every day. You know, Bethany and Lindsay started. We started an online store for dried flowers 6 or 8 years ago, and it's really come into its own. The last 3 years, it's a steady year-round business.
Wow. And direct to consumer.
Direct to consumer with wholesale prices.
Wow.
And
yeah, that's cool.
so we're still working out, trying to make it slicker, and but it's endless. You know, you're always trying to improve. But Lindsay's been instrumental in making this little dried flower business super viable.
Yeah. So you said you have 6 to 8 different colors that it comes in. So it's kind of in the cream, orange, red, pink range. I mean, there's no cool tones really, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's no like light purple.
Yeah.
There's a dark purple
Oh, that's just
that's
like a burgundy,
that's
right?
almost black.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And when you get into the barn, you'll see all the different colors of straw flowers.
So when you're harvesting, like, are these ready to harvest?
Yes, I suppose a lot of people want to harvest the straw flower when it's young for drying, and they don't want the yellow center to be showing. We don't do that. We don't mind the yellow center.
Mm-hmm.
The float maker doesn't mind the yellow center. If you allow it to develop and open, the flower gets bigger. I think it's there's more volume to the flower for the float maker.
More petal volume.
But people, growers that grow straw flowers like exclusively for drying, are cutting a younger stem.
Okay. So these might just go to the market for floral designers, or are you guys?
Actually, these are pretty young. I mean, it's cold and wet. They're closed.
Okay, so they could be.
It's if it got sunny and windy, they would open up. It's unfortunate the weather is what it is right now because you don't really see what it is. But these would be prime for cutting for drying.
Wow. And I see that you have been cutting.
Oh yeah, over and over and over again.
They-
They keep making.
Really?
Just add water. And this block is Southfield Area B. It's getting crowded out by woody shrubs. We got lots of viburnum varieties,
Behind you.
mostly viburnums, Yeah, all viburnum, different. So many beautiful viburnums in the world. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to grow. It really likes our climate. I think it likes the cool nights we have in the summertime. And I think it likes the acid soil that we tend to have here.
Don't fight it then.
But my buddy in Ohio has a tough time growing statice, and the differences in our climates is enormous.
Oh my gosh, it's so colorful over there. How many different varieties do you even add to your catalog?
Well, my favorite is this one called, it's the QIS series,
Here, show it to us.
Statice QIS Apricot,
Is that this
Apricot Shades.
Oh,
So this is 4 solid rows that are 500 feet of QIS Apricot Shades. So I planted too much, but still it makes it, it gives us a lot to harvest. It's true. There was purple, yellow. There was a dark blue. There was a light blue. There's an old series called Fortress, and it's tough to find because QIS is sort of the taller. This is QIS. It gets skinnier stems, taller in the field. Fortress has got thicker stems that are more winged.
Yes, I know that.
I can show you the Fortress. It's a great old
It's so
variety.
girly.
Yeah,
But fashions come and go, and this is a color that's more in the palette of florists now, right?
it's a super popular color, and it's called apricot shades because we have different shades of apricot.
Yeah, it's tonal. I see that. Some are more rosy, some are more coral.
And when the statice stem is ripe and ready to pick, it should snap at the base.
Okay.
That one didn't snap for me, but the crew really would prefer to snap it rather than use the clippers, you know?
They can harvest faster.
Yeah, it's not snapping too good for me.
Yeah, maybe because it's wet.
No, it's just not, they're not ripe.
Just okay.
But if you look down, you'll see there's probably 4 or 5 different shades of
Hundreds and
apricot.
hundreds.
Let's go look at, so this is a crop the bouquet makers buy for fresh. Mayesh gets a lot of it,
So beautiful.
but the majority of it gets cut for drying and sold on our website.
Would you, if you're cutting now, would these stems be dried or are they too mature?
You know, the cold nights and the wet conditions make the flowers pucker, and it's marginal now.
So you'd rather be cutting in the summer?
I think
for-
we're almost done. We're supposed to have another little bit of warm, sunny weather next week. I'll take a look at the quality, and if we have the time, we'll cut more. But I definitely grew too much statice. So, deer here are living in the riparian along the river, and they have access to lots of kinds of food. So they're real selective in what they eat on the farm, and but they love Nigella.
Got it.
And so that was
Sure
the
is in here.
right. Nigella gets grown in this field for sure.
That's crazy.
This is a sowing. Nigella I did 2 days ago, and so this will germinate in about 2 weeks, and it'll survive through the winter time, and then it'll make June will be our harvest.
Similar to what we discussed
Yeah.
over on the other side.
So to me, this is beautiful. You know, especially in the lighting. You've got what's left of the Celosia Century series, which is another age-old series of Celosia that is more of a border plant. They only grow about 12 or 14 inches. But for us, for drying, it's great because wreath makers, they don't need stem length, you know. So there's like 6 or 7 colors in this Century series. There's a salmon, there's an orange, there's a rust, there's a purple, there's a red, and there's a flame. And
You're okay with them being short.
yeah,
Century
Series.
like 100 years.
I suppose. It's
Yeah.
just the name, but like QAS is a series, Fortress is a series. Flowers sometimes, flower categories or varieties of flowers or specific things like Celosia and Statice and well, in particular those two have series.
Okay, let's go look at you're going to show me
The Fortress series, the Fortress series has an apricot, apricot beauty or something. I think this might be the row right here of the Fortress apricot. And in it, you got a little white and some pink and even some blue. So it's not as great as in terms of like getting what you think you're going to get. QIS is better, you know.
in terms of more true to color.
Right. Well, let me look at this tag here. No, that's QIS. So that's more of the QIS apricot.
Sure.
This is a new variety called Forever Happy, and it's kind of a mauvey pink. We're really excited about this one.
This one too.
Yeah, I got this from Johnny Seed.
So pretty.
I just ordered 7,000 seeds,
Oh my God.
so I have it. Because sometimes these really great things disappear.
Oh, so you didn't plant them all this year? You just,
I did. I planted, like there's a half row here and there's more right there.
okay.
Probably like 400 feet of row.
But you'll
this year. But I used up a packet of seed, and then I thought it's so unique, and I thought I better get more before it sells out or they quit making it or whatever. So I got a lifetime supply.
It's like an indigo, like denim color almost.
No, this one,
Oh, this one here, and this
Yeah.
is the one that you said is
Forever Happy.
Forever Happy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, it'll
it's
make
a
you-
similar to the Fortress series in that the stems are thicker. They snap a lot better,
Oh, okay.
and they're more winged. These are
Yes.
wings. That's a wing,
Right. It's so beautiful.
and the color is. I love that.
Really beautiful.
This is Fortress series in one of the blue,
Okay.
and you can see how sturdy it is
Yeah. Wow.
and bulky.
Wow. And beautiful color. And it holds its color when it dries.
Yeah, the petals are papery.
Wow.
Nothing changes.
Tell me why dried flowers? Because that was really the beginning of your career, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were super popular in the 70s and through the 80s and into the 90s. And so when I moved back to Oregon, I decided I was going to try to find some ground to grow flowers for drying. And I ended up here on CV Loop. And the flowers we planted were just for drying, even snapdragons. And the barn was built in 1991 to dry flowers. And then toward the middle of the 90s, end of the 90s, the interest in dried flowers waned really severely. And so we kind of pivoted to fresh, which required 2 or 3 years of learning how to process for fresh because it's so much different. It's a different group of buyers. But luckily, I had at least 10 years of experience farming flowers on CV Loop and having perennials and ground for annuals that were great for drying, that were also great for fresh.
So you're
And there
in that world.
were wholesalers in Portland and Eugene that wanted the flowers. So suddenly we decided, well, let's sell them our flowers.
Yeah.